Hello, everybody, and welcome to another My Music. My name's Graham. I'm going to be speaking to the wonderful Almira any minute now, all the way from Poland, Warsaw, in fact. First, we're going to have a little video from the Analog Trash people. My hair looks a complete mess because it's raining outside. Sorry about that. I can't do much about it. Almira's looks beautiful. So there you go. Just look at her hair. That's the way forward. Almira, thanks so much for joining me. And we were just talking before we came on. You've got a lovely white aesthetic going on there, and I noticed that on your Instagrams and everything. Everything looks clean lined. It all looks lovely and white. The only thing I can say that I've got white here is the headphones. Everything else is all a bit colourful, isn't it? But there we go. What's with the white?
I just love white. I've always loved the white aesthetic, and when I bought my first ever thing to produce music, it was a white mini lab from Arturia, and I chose it because all of the MIDI controllers were black, and I just wanted, to match my aesthetic. And and it started like this. I have now white speakers, white headphones, white microphones, three white keyboards. So that's because I love it. And people sometimes ask me, is someone like managing my Instagram account and my aesthetics? No, it's just I love this. I show things that I love. It's natural for me.
We need to get you a white pop shield for your microphone. And if you could do a nice white, good quality microphone for Almira, she'd be happy to be a sponsor for that, wouldn't you?
I actually have a white microphone, but I decided to use this because I'm testing the Austrian audio now. And that's why I chose this for today.
Look, I have got this. See, you like that? That's kind of white, isn't it? There we go. See, there we are. I love
black and white is the best.
Oh, it really is. You need to check out LX on Instagram if you haven't already, because she's designed her whole studio in black and white. It's all really clean lines. She's done that whole marker thing as well, where she makes things look almost like cartoon by drawing on. She paints everything and then draws on it to make it look almost 2D. I love all of that.
I need to check. Yeah, thank you for inviting me. I haven't said it yet. So it's really nice to be here.
Absolute pleasure. And I was just thinking back when you were telling me about the aesthetic thing as well. I grew up in Bedfordshire, in the southeast of England, and actually we had quite a big Polish population there. And one of my friends growing up was a young guy called Andrzej Mikowski, who I met again a few years ago now, and he was always into very clean aesthetic. I think his dad did something to do with design as well. And whenever we went over his house, everything was really clean line. And, is that quite a Polish thing, do you feel?
To be honest, I don't think so.
No.
I think that mainly in Polish, people like very colorful aesthetic and a lot of things. And I don't like this personally. I prefer minimalism.
Okay, so I could be big in Poland.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
With all my, I have to explain though. This wall here, this is a wall of bits and pieces that people who have been on the show have sent me. So hence the color comes from that. This, however, was
not, it's not like that. I don't like colors at all. Yeah, I like, but when I chose aesthetic for my environment, I chose the white and minimalist just because it makes my mind clearer I prefer to compose and create in a very clean aesthetic. That's why. But I like colors. Like, it's not that I don't like. But in Poland, yeah, I think when I think about Polish aesthetic, I think a lot of colors. Yeah, a lot of stuff, a lot of things. So it's great also, like,
Cool. Cool. I definitely think I'd go down well in Poland then. I used to be in a band called the Colourful People. How colourful is that? There's a nice black and white photo of us up there. bit of irony. Now tell me, you on your Instagram as well, you define yourself as not just an artist, but also a vocal coach as well.
Yeah.
So
That's
tell
that's
us
what
a bit
I've
about
been
that.
doing for last few years. And I think it's the field when I achieved the most, like, success or something, because it started because I had really bad vocal technique, actually. And I as a teenager, I had a really serious problems with my voice, because of, bad teaching.
You sang
And
from here all the time?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I had really, like, damaged vocal cords, and I was worried that I will lose my voice actually one day. And when I started to learn a good techniques, it actually changed my life. And I felt like, wow, I want to do this for another people, and I want to help them to sing more effortlessly. That's how I started my first course for vocal coaching. And yeah, I just love it. I see that it changes people's lives. And that's why I had so much passion about this. And last year, I started to focus more on making music and composing, but still teaching is a big part of my life. And I started also to teach music theory, piano, and also the songwriting, and, like, some basics of music production. So yeah, I'm offering now like more lessons than only vocal coaching, but still teaching is a big part of my life.
I love that. You've got kind of a whole holistic support thing going
Yeah.
on there for musicians, which is
Yes.
wonderful.
Yes, and
Um,
it came naturally. Like, people came for singing lessons, and I showed them how to play the piano, and they said, "Oh, you can teach me how to play the piano. Let's start." And that's how it started.
oh, so good, so good. Listen, we'll get onto your music bit in a minute, right? Don't worry, we're definitely going to cover your music, but I just want to focus on the teaching bit for a little bit because who is that for? Is it just for seasoned musicians who want to learn better, or can literally anybody? I'm hoping you're going to say yes, but can literally anybody benefit from vocal technique?
Yeah. Yeah, and teaching singing lessons are for everybody. Like, even if you don't sing as a professional, you can learn how to use your voice more healthy in a better way, to speak. I once had a guy who didn't sing at all. Like, he wasn't a singer, he wasn't a musician. He was manager of hairdressing salon or something like this, and he had a serious problem with his voice. And he went from one doctor to another, and they said, "Oh, it's just like this. We can offer you some um, hyaluronic acid to your vocal cords." And no one said you should go to a vocal coach and make your technique better. And he came from another city in Poland to Warsaw. And after one lesson, we changed his voice. Like, it was totally different voice. And he said, "Wow, my life is now better. Like, you saved my life." And yeah, that's how it is. People are struggling with their voices, not being a musicians. It's for
I
everybody.
see. I think this is massive, right? I think it's absolutely massive because in this day and age, so many people have to do stuff in front of people, or they have to do stuff online, or they have to make content, or they have to put stuff out there, or they have to do a presentation in front of a board of people, or whatever, right? It's all using your voice. And as you said, you know, there is a different way other than drugs and medication and whatever. And here's the daft thing, right? We know in other parts of medicine, if you have a bad back, for example, it may be that you might need, depending upon what the condition is, you may need some help with painkiller or steroids or whatever to take some inflammation down. But primarily, how will that get treated? It would get treated by physio. So it would get treated by exercise and knowing how to get the right muscles working to enable you to bring that back and help make it stronger, do things the right way, walk in a better way or whatever, if you've got a gait, etc. So, and yet with a voice, it's like, well, I'm going to put you on steroids, or we're going to give you this medication or whatever. Vocal coaching is a bit
Exactly.
like physio, right?
Yeah.
For your voice.
Yeah, I'm not a physio, but I can help with a lot of things. If there are things that I don't know what to do with, I send my student to a doctor or a some specialist. But yeah, with your voice, it's like, okay, you have problems with your vocal cords. So some people say, okay, so stay silent and take medications, but they don't say like, okay, make your vocal technique better, like speak healthier. Because, okay, you can stay silent for weeks and your vocal cords will, recover, but then you will start using your voice again and it will be worse, you know?
Okay, we're not
That
going to
was
give
my case. That was my case.
okay.
Yeah, I had
In
problems.
in in this 20 minutes, 30 minutes that we're on today, we're not going to give the whole game away because you got to retain you've got to retain your business, right? But but what is the most common thing that people get wrong with regards to singing or their voice?
Tensions all around the neck and voice.
Tension, yeah.
Yeah, tension. And it can cause really different effects on the voice. Some people use too much air, and it's sometimes caused by the tensions here. Some people are like pushing their voice, and it's also a tension, and not properly breathing. Yeah, I would say these two things. And also, like, even professional singers doesn't know how like everything inside is built, you know. People don't even think what are actually vocal cords, how their voice is produced, you know. So I really want people to be more conscious about this also, you know.
See,
I know that.
I one day will. Do you know what? One day I'm going to come to you and we'll have some sessions and we'll get me sorted out, right? Because I still don't know enough about this stuff. But having been a singer in the past and whatever, one thing I know is that there's a spot where when you sing in a way where your body is relaxed and it's more from down here and it's not from here, it just feels effortless.
Yeah, singing
Yeah,
should feel effortless.
yeah.
Like, yeah,
And as
so
soon
you
as you
have to
start
put some
singing from
energy.
here or even up here, then actually you're pushing something. You're pushing your body, aren't you?
Yeah, when you don't know anything about the registers in voice, you probably will push everything from your throat. Yeah.
Mm,
You have to know how to release the higher notes to a head register, how to breathe properly. Yeah.
mm.
And singing, yeah, you have to put some energy into singing. You know, it's you need to exhale the air to use your vocal cords. Yeah, it's some kind of energy, but it shouldn't be tension and pushing. You shouldn't be
Oh.
pushing. Yeah.
Do you think most people sing in the wrong register as well?
Um, I'm not sure, but probably most of people. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you have realized that most of the people don't like their voices. And that's how the vocal lessons can help, you know. The people don't like to listen to their voices on recording, for example, you know. People don't like their voices. And that's how the singing lesson can also help, like to get used to your voice, to like your voice, to know your voice better.
I really struggled with that when I first started.
Yeah.
I don't give a flying monkeys now because I've just done it for so long that you kind of understand that that's your voice, right?
Yeah.
And part and parcel of it is experience, isn't it? I mean, that ultimately, the more you do something and the more you realize that other people like it, then you your voice is always going to sound awkward to you to some extent, right? You're always going to think your voice isn't as nice as the next person's voice. You're always going to think that. But it's about understanding that, there's probably something about your voice that enough people like that it's okay. And that just comes with doing it and
Yeah.
experience and feedback and whatever else. I mean, you can change things as you go along. I think
Yes.
you have to be self-critical to an extent, but in a in a way that's positive in terms of your own voice. So I mean, like, if I watch things back, like here, if I watch a series of interviews back, for example, if I find myself that I've from time to time, you will find that you pick up on a word that you keep using and you overuse it. And then what you need to do is train yourself not to use it. So you might make a little post-it note and put it on the thing and
Yeah.
go, do not say that, because to
Yeah.
remind yourself not to say that over and over again. But
Yes, and when you learn how to use your voice better way, and you actually start to do more good things with it, you actually start to like it, and you are more self confident to use it. Again. So that's
yeah,
how it works. Yeah. But I used to not like my voice because my teachers told me that I should sound like somebody else. Yeah. I
yeah,
always wanted to sing in lower registers, and I was like kind of alto voice. But they told me, no, you cannot sing like this. It's not interesting. You have to be a soprano. Yeah. So I started not to like
hmm,
my voice, and I tried to sing and sound like somebody else, and it was not natural for me. So the wise teacher is also a very important thing in your
yeah.
confidence and in seeing good things in your voice.
Where is your natural range? Where do you comfortably sit?
I think it's like alto or like a tenor voices. I really have
Yeah.
low voice. I
So
recently
it's quite
was,
low, yeah.
yeah, I was recently on a studio session. I was recording my new song because I'm coming back to singing, like producing my own songs now. And the guy who is like the engineer said, "Oh my God, you really had a low voice, really low voice. Like, yeah, it's natural for me." And once I started to accept this, I actually started singing better.
Yeah. Do you find, very quick question, do you find male or female voices more interesting? I mean, for example, there's an awful lot of male singers out there who may actually sing naturally as like a baritone. So they're actually got quite a low voice naturally, and it's kind of in this register. But actually, as part of their singing, they will swap between baritone and falsetto. Do you find male or female voices kind of more interesting to work with?
Um, I find all voices interesting to work
Oh,
with,
good
to be honest.
answer. Good
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah, because like every voice is different, and there is no two the same voices.
Yeah,
I've been doing this for almost 8 years now because I started very early, and I haven't met two the same voices. And even if people have similar tendency in their voices, similar mechanism, they can react so differently to the same exercises. The details in their voice are different. So yeah, it's very interesting, like to know
what
so many
about
voices.
what about this is I promise you, this is the final voice question, and then we'll get onto the music.
We can go
What
on.
about what what about when a singer's got like a very distinct but very controlled voice crack in there? You listen to a voice like Sia, where she'll sing and there's like, in like Chandelier and whatever, and she'll hit that note, but there'll be a crack in the voice, but it's so controlled. Is that good for our voice? Is that bad for our voice? Is that
When you know how to do it without damaging your voice, it actually can be good. Yeah, you have to be conscious
Mm,
about what your vocal cords do, and if you can do it without a crack and without a break, you have, flexible vocal cords, and your um, your limits. Yeah, and you are exercising and training your voice. Yes, if you do it because you want to do it, it's good. But when you do it because you don't know how to do it another way, it's bad. you know so
right.
it's with all the effects. If I want to sing falsetto, yeah, and I use it as my style, aesthetic, because I want to sound more airy, and I also know how to produce more balanced sound, it's okay. But if I don't know any other way to sing a note
Right.
other than falsetto, it's not good. So if it's a choice and you can do it another way, it's good. Yeah, and you know how to achieve a more balanced sound. Yeah, so
Yeah.
then it's okay, and you don't feel that it hurts or it's damaging your voice. It's okay then. It's everything depends on how it is used. If
Mm,
you have balanced voice and you use some effects on your voice, then it's fine. And you train your voice, you have good condition in your voice. But if you sing this way because it's the only way you can do it, then you have to rethink. I would say this. It's all
yeah.
about being conscious and choosing. Yeah. If you choose this, or you must do it this way. If you must do it this way, learn to do it another way and learn to have a balanced sound, and then use it as an effect when you can like take it off.
I could seriously ask you questions about singing all day long, but we won't, because what we'll do is, if you want to learn more about singing, what you need to do is book a session with Almira.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Available online. So if you're not in Poland, it's also
There you go.
possible.
She wanna sing like the chandelier. Right. That's what we're going to talk about now. Is your music. When did you first start writing your own music?
I think that my first song was when I was a teenager, possibly like 17 or something.
Mm.
Um, but I was going to a music school then, and my teacher said that she sees no sense in writing your own music, and I should focus on singing music that has already been written. You know,
Why would a music teacher say that? Right. That
I
doesn't
don't
make
know.
any
Like,
sense.
yeah, until today, I think if she was really believing what she was saying then, because I would never say something like this. Like,
That's
yeah,
like saying to a child going through school, just read books that have already been written.
yeah,
Uh, learn what's already been discovered. Don't discover anything for yourself.
yeah.
Don't write anything for yourself because it's already been done. That's just nonsense. What
Yeah, I stopped
absolute
writing
rubbish.
for many years then. I stopped writing for many years after this because I felt so discouraged. And um, yeah, I probably never believed that she was right, but somehow it stopped me, and I had a real problem with writing. I left this school because I wasn't feeling comfortable then. But yeah, I started then, and then I had a break. But I've always wanted to create. Like, I've always been playing piano and looking for chord progressions that I like, and thinking, what can I say through this music? Yeah, and I came back to writing in 2019 because I felt so, like, frustrated that I wasn't doing this. And I started then, and since then I try to live my creative life in many ways, like writing for myself, writing for other people, writing piano music. Mm, yeah, now I'm turning back to writing singing songs for me. Yeah, because
Yeah.
like last year I was more focused about piano music and instrumental stuff.
What's your mission in terms of your vision, in terms of the songs that you're writing at the moment? What are you kind of writing about? What are you focused on?
Mm, I think I'm focusing on emotion, but not only the good ones. I want to show all of them, like that I'm struggling to. I have many thoughts. Sometimes things are tough and sometimes are really okay. And I want to show this whole, like, um, palette of this.
Yeah. Is there anything that you feel like you still need to challenge yourself with musically in terms of where you want to go, where you haven't gone there yet, but you really want to explore it?
I think that at the moment, I'm okay with what I want to do and what I don't want to do. Like this year was very important for me because I learned what I don't want to do. I tried so many things for last few years, and I tried to write music and also like rap music for different people. Um, I was thinking about the cinematic music, about production, about mixing and mastering, and I wanted to be the best in all these fields. And like this year, I realized what I love the most, what I want to focus on. So, yeah, I had some challenges, and now I feel like I settled down and I know exactly what I want to do. So
Okay,
maybe it's
so
not
if we
that
give people, if we give you 3 words to describe your sound now that you're now happy with, what would those 3 words be?
piano, dark aesthetic, and ballads.
That's quite interesting. A dark aesthetic coming out of a light aesthetic. So you
Yeah,
need the light aesthetic to write, but you write a dark aesthetic. That's quite
because
interesting.
I meant I like minor keys. I like flat keys. The darker key, the better key for me. And I like to sing sad songs. I'm not a sad person, but sometimes my music is sad, and I think that it's totally okay. And I can, you know, release some things for myself of writing. So
So
yeah, I
you're
like
not
sad
gonna hear
music.
C G D from you. It will be more sort of A minor, E minor, C
Or
sharp,
G minor. G minor is my
G
favorite.
minor.
Yeah.
Oh, is that your favorite ever chord? Is it?
Yeah. I love
Yeah,
G minor key, and I also love A minor. Yeah.
yeah. Do you ever get a bit diminished in there as well? A little bit
Yeah.
of, yeah. That's
Yeah, I
that's
try to use more of them. Yeah, especially when I write piano music, I can, play with the keys, play with chords. I don't have to stick to the chord progressions. For example, like in pop music, I usually stick to chord progressions. Sometimes I change something, but in the piano music, it's like I feel so open, like my mind is open. And
yeah.
I just go through these chords and look for melodies. I love this.
I've got a question for you then, because of the piano side of things. Have you seen that in the UK we've got a show called The Piano at the moment?
No,
Ah, it's brilliant. So,
I need to check.
what it is, yeah, you have to check this out. Okay, I'm sure you can find it online. So it's where members of the public come along and they play in front of at different train stations. This is the important bit. At different train stations where there's a piano, they play in front of the public, right? But they're also playing in front of 2 people who are judging it as well. And then
Okay.
out of the group, they pick one person, and that person goes through to play in a big concert. And so they create a big concert at the end, and then those people go to play. Right, the 2 people that
No.
are judging are Mika. You know Mika, the
Yeah.
musician. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And Lang Lang, the classical
Yeah. I
pianist.
know the player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's brilliant, absolutely
Oh,
brilliant.
I need
So
to check
what I'm
this.
thinking
I
is,
never heard
yeah,
about this.
what I'm thinking is they're starting auditions now or asking for tapes and stuff. Well, tapes. Listen to me. How old am I? They're asking for people to
Analog
send in.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Everybody, hi, that still remembers tapes. They're making
I
a comeback.
remember.
They're
I'm
making a
90s
comeback.
child.
They're asking for people for next season now. Maybe you should do it, and then you could
Okay.
come over to the UK. You could be at a train station. We see you on the telly.
Okay,
Could do
I
one
will
of
check this. Yeah.
your original
Yeah,
pieces.
I tried to play on an airport in Rome, and this
Mm,
was so stressful for me. I love this, that people were listening and they were clapping, but it was so stressful for me. The performance is something that is really difficult for me because mainly I work in my home or in my studio when I teach, and it's another step for me to make, to get more used
yeah.
to performing in front of
I
the
think
people.
we have to get out of our comfort zones every now and again.
Yeah. So this is
It's in
challenging for me at the moment. This is
okay,
my
okay,
challenge.
cool. I mean, ultimately, I've actually come from that. I've come into the kind of this area where I don't escape from my cage. Next month they are letting me out for a day. I'm hosting a thing in London
Woo!
one day. Yeah, which is good. So I actually escape from the four walls because this is where I
Yeah,
spend most of my time now. And it's you do need to if you're doing this sort of thing, you do need to get out. So
yeah.
yeah, I wish you well with all of that. Almira, I honestly, I could talk to you all day, and it's been an absolute pleasure. But we are kind of out of time. I hope you've enjoyed this, folks. 31 minutes of your life just been enriched by the wonderful Almira talking about
Whee!
A, her music, and B, you probably all learned a bit about vocal stuff as well. Do connect with her,
I hope.
by the way, on the socials. And if you do want any help, or you think, actually, maybe I'd like to collaborate with Almira on some music as well, do get in touch with her. And tell people what's the latest thing that you've put out there, music wise.
Can you ask again because I didn't understand?
Oh, your latest offering, music wise. Tell people what you've got that they can go and hear.
My latest release or something, yeah?
Mm.
Yeah, go and check my Spotify because there were my latest release of my piano music, the Springtime, and I heard a lot of people like this. So yeah, this is very important for me. So if you can check.
Go do it now. Don't delay. Go and check that out. Almira, you've been an absolute wonder. Thank you so much for coming along today and
Thank
talking
you.
to me. Please do go and check out Almira's music. Hopefully, we'll see her in the UK next year on the next edition or the next episodes of the piano when after this she checks it out and applies because she's sure to get through. So that would be good. That would be something to look forward to for next year. And besides, it'd be lovely for you to come to the UK. We'd love to see
Yeah,
you again in the
yeah,
UK. But do make
for
sure you
sure.
come to the West Country while you're over
West.
here. If you've enjoyed this today, this has been my music. If you haven't enjoyed it, I'm sorry. We've wasted your time. You can go and get your time back by filling in, a form down your post office. Send it with a stamped addressed envelope to yourself. That will help. We'll be back with more of my music soon. Until then, thanks for watching. Do share this with people because it really, really helps the
Yeah.
music.